All right, and a very, very good evening, East Africa. Welcome to yet a brand new and also exciting week of the desk. Now more than ever, I'm yours truly, Shadrach Shagaf Kisame. And guess what? Today is one that is going to be really insightful. Like we always do here on the desk, we always bring you solutions that are able to guide and lead your day-to-day contemporary life. Now, many thanks to all those who keep themselves glued onto U24 television. And we are broadcasting here at our home at Nile Avenue, Nakasero Hill, UBC headquarters. But guess what? You are live on U24 television, and today it is different. We've never had a man from this walk of life, a man from this discipline of life on the show before. Trust me, I'm here shaking on set, but he's going to be telling us why we shouldn't shake when we see men in uniform. He is the Deputy Chief Political Commissar of the UPDF. I don't want to get the name wrong, sir. Afande, thank you for talking to us.
I'm delighted to be before our esteemed viewers and listeners,
Yes, sir.
whom I salute.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for hosting me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Colonel Okei Rukogota, Deputy Chief Political Commissar of the UPDF.
So what does this person do, the Deputy Chief Commissar? What do they do in the UPDF?
A lot of roles as spelled out in the UPDF books, in the UPDF doctrine.
Yep.
The UPDF doctrine assigns the commissariat or the chieftainess of political commissariat
Yep.
the role of keeping the UPDF a highly politicized and ideologically trained fighting outfit that is pro-people, that is patriotic, that goes for revolutionary principles, that is grounded in revolutionary principles and not a careerist outfit. So that we give our best to our country, and so that we know where our country is going,
Yep.
so that we know our role as a non-partisan force that is productive. And when you are productive, it means you are not parasitic. And that's why we are involved in a range of efforts regarding wealth creation, as you may ask me later.
Yep.
So, first role of the commissariat is to keep the UPDF ideologically orientated, so that it can play its revolutionary patriotic role in safeguarding and defending our sovereignty,
Yes.
as per the Constitution, in maintaining close bonds with our population, in continuously being a standby force that comes in to reinforce civilian authority if there is any activity or any threat,
Yeah.
any flood that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Yes.
Two, to make sure that morale in the UPDF
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
highest, high morale, and also to make sure that we know that we are subject to civilian authority.
Afande, you make a very important point when you talk about non-partisan. You know, on the streets, loosely, people just say, hey, I'm a Jega government, I'm a Jega ruling party. You know, they consider the army to be for the ruling party. I want to throw more light for people to understand that this is non-partisan, it's for the nation.
Of course, that is a misconception, and it is a hangover of previous armies which were under the armpits
Yes.
of the political parties of the day. Certainly, the UPDF as a politicized army is not partisan, but it doesn't mean it is apolitical. It is politicized.
But it is not politically
It
inclined.
studies
Yes.
politics.
Yes.
It follows political trends.
Yes.
But it follows only those which are progressive, which don't disunite people. which don't divide our people,
Yes.
which strengthen and consolidate our national independence. And how do you consolidate national independence? You consolidate it by working for unity. So we actively fight all tendencies that disunite our people. So, but you can't fight those tendencies if you can't identify them. The role of politicizing and ideologically orienting our forces is for them to know who are the enemies of Uganda within the country. Who are the enemies of Uganda in the region without Uganda. What are the major players on the global level and at a national level? Because the global players have got their quislings, their agents within Uganda, and they work in concert to fight national interests. And on global level, we have friends of Uganda who work with our government.
So that means there are people internally who do not know exactly what they're doing, and they're just jumping on international things, and they do not know whether are these friends of the country or are these enemies of the country. So for you, just jump on a project. And
sure. For example, if some foreign forces want Uganda to subscribe to homosexuality, for example. Now, we don't victimize those who are already having tendencies of homosexuality,
of that kind,
because we need to educate them and pass them through psychosocial therapy. But the issue is that if it is imposed on us as a must,
with condition,
then are they friendly to us?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Because in Uganda, we can't, if our population doesn't thrive, and we bequeath Uganda to other Ugandans who will take over, then it means Uganda will get depopulated. And who wins by Uganda, who gains by Uganda getting depopulated?
The influencers.
So, while we've consistently told them, why don't you promote heterosexual? Why should you promote homo? Because in Uganda, sex is a private affair.
According to how you people raised us.
Even those who engage in it do it privately. Why should homosexuality become a public affair issue? So that's one area. Then also, there are issues like the oil we have. Some forces don't want us to have a refinery. They want us to export the crude, cheap raw material out of the country, and then we import the refined program. Who stands to gain? By importing, by exporting the crude oil, we are exporting hundreds and hundreds of jobs. And by importing refined oil, we are losing lots of foreign exchange.
Right. Afande, I want us to go for a quick break, and on that point, when we come back, we start there, because you're painting a picture that the army is not just guns, and it is important for people to understand.
So, commissariat is about teaching our soldiers to identify who is the enemy, who is the friend, who are the people, and who are the enemies of the people. Thank you.
All right, let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we're still with Afande here, and I'm telling you, there's so much we're learning. Do not go away. I'm coming back. All right, welcome back. You are still live on the continent's leading intellectual platform, actually the highest platform for solution finding, The Desk. And today is not business as usual. We are trying to understand the dynamics of the commissariat in the army, and who other than the Deputy Chief Political Commissar of the UPDF, to take us and to make us understand. So for you, if you are a youth, do not even think that this is none of your business. This is your business, because we are starting to understand that the army is not just guns. There's so much that is at play. They have actually tried to make us understand who our friend is, who our enemy is, and it's important that you actually understand this. Afande, you know, you are painting a really, really good picture of who our friends are, you know, foreign, and who our friends are not. But the youth are not understanding this because they feel like, that's the army. I want Afande for us to talk about the relationship between you, the army, the people in uniform, and the youth, because we contribute close to 80% of the population. So you're always interfacing with us every day. The importance of the relationship between us and yourselves.
First of all, let me return to who are the enemies of the people and who are the friends of the people. They are not necessarily foreigners. Even amongst us, a corrupt person is an enemy of the people. Somebody who works to prolong Uganda's dependency on imports, on imported products. I'm not saying that we have got to manufacture everything from here, but anybody who, without reason or without economic reasons, sustains the importation of commodities we do manufacture here, is not a friend of the people.
Right.
Because he keeps Uganda dependent. So, about the youth. The youth are the emerging force that will take and must ably take over from us. If the youth are not there and are not in the mood, the ideological mood and spirit to take over from us ably, effectively, efficiently, then everything we've been doing, fighting in different theaters of war and struggling to bring stability to this country will have been done in vain. So the youth are the most important section of society, in that they are the ones who are taking over, both as the UPDF. They are the future commanders of the UPDF. Two, they are the future leaders, political, and in all other social aspects of leadership. Four, they are the ones who must stay fit so that they procreate, they reproduce themselves, so that this generation is sustained into, is reproduced into future generation. So that there is continuity, perpetuity. That perpetuity can't be there if the youths are not consciously able to know of their historical mission. And this is why we are interested in the youth getting political conscious and being ideologically oriented, because they have to know what is their mission. If they fail to know their mission, or if they know their mission and they don't pursue it, as Francis Fanon said, then it means they will have betrayed their generation. They will have become traitors. So what is the most important thing right now? The most important struggle currently is to transform Uganda from a peasant economy to a prosperous, modern industrialized economy. An economy that will exploit to the maximum the fourth industrial revolution elements, like a nano technology, like IoT, Internet of Things, like all the digital innovations that are coming, like UAVs, robotics, biotech, AI, good AI. So, if the youth don't know that they must seize the day, carp them, seize the day, position yourselves to be the transforming agent towards socio-economic transformation. And while they are thinking about that, they should know also the concurrent environment, the neighboring environment that is needed. You can't do it if you are not strengthening national unity.
Yes, yes.
You can't do it if you are sectarian. You can't do it if you are not patriotic. If you are not seeing the Karamajong, the Munyankore, the Rugwara, the Musamya as part and parcel, indivisible part of you, and that you must advance together.
Right.
So you must be having a nationalistic, patriotic outlook. But that's good, but not good enough. You must also be a younger man who knows that Uganda alone can't make it without the East African region, without Africa. Because we need big markets. We need a strategic security that is based on all Africans fighting to resist against the forces which want to recolonize Africa.
Afande, you make a very important point in making us understand that the youth have a huge responsibility other than what we've known. But I want us to talk a little bit about the aspect of mentorship, because these youths today need people like you to point us in this direction. And what are people like yourself doing to ensure that this that you want us to do, we actually do it efficiently and productively?
Yeah. First of all, you remember that the UPDF leadership, first of all, my commander-in-chief.
Yes, yes, yes.
The Chief of Defense Forces.
Yes.
The Joint Chief of Staff, the CPC, all of the commanders have been wholeheartedly supporting leadership efforts, especially patriotic clubs. You know our efforts in Chankwanz.
Yes, yes.
You know when we came in 1986, one of the tenets, the ways we wanted to strengthen our bonds with the civilian population was that we would demystify the military and democratize the means of violence. And we did that through Mchaka and military training for everybody who turned up and ideological orientation. So we in the UPDF have been at the forefront of training and grooming the future leadership. And actually, I salute my leaders because much of the UPDF now is being taken up. The leadership of the UPDF, you know, we are in the process of retiring.
Yes, yes.
And you know that energetic blood is being infused within our armed forces.
Yes, yes.
And these are people who are well versed with the fourth industrial revolution and its components, and it accounts also why we've been invincible, why we are doing a great job in Operation Suja in Congo.
Yes, yes.
Few armed forces of the world can operate in the Congo,
environment,
in that environment for prolonged period of time. You know what we are doing in Mogadishu.
Yes,
you know armed forces which have failed to operate there.
Yes.
And they were some of the most mighty in the world.
Yes, yes.
And you know we are having our forces deployed elsewhere in the African continent, in the region, and in Uganda. For a military to have that capability of being able to deploy in different theaters of operation concurrently and efficiently and get good results, good reports.
Yes, yes.
That's not an accident.
And for a long time,
it means that Commander-in-Chief Sabarwanyi, General Museveni, is a real genius in military organization, is very patriotic. Because if you are a genius and you are selfish, for example, it means you can't use your geniusness,
Yes,
your intellectual acumen,
yes, for
the good of not only Uganda but now for the region.
Yeah.
And it also means that my CDF, General Mbasumbadi, my service commanders, my Joint Chief of Staff, General Kianda, my CPC, Chief Political Commissar, General Henry Masco, these are selfless people who are guiding the UPDF to do a great job amidst a lot of frugality. Because without frugality, we would exhaust the coffers of the nation.
right.
And I salute all comrades that they are able to operate and achieve effects, military and operational effects,
Yeah.
and without causing trouble to our economy.
Right.
Other armed forces would ruin our economy.
Right.
But also, we should also know that the operations of the UPDF are helping to advance our economy. We are exporting now into the region a lot more than we would if we hadn't attended to regional security and stability the way we are doing.
Right. Afande, let's go for a break, but when we come back, I want us, because the 30 minutes are never enough, want us to, we'll talk about a little bit about Tarehe Sita, then a little bit, you know, as we wind up the discussion. Yeah, but don't go away, I'm coming back. Welcome back. You are still live on the desk, and we are here with Afande, and he's educating us so much. There's been a lot of, you know, ideological orientation already on set today, and you can be the judge with what you have learned. But get back to me on my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Do that for Shadrach Kisame, do that for U24 Television, and remember, we're broadcasting here at our home at Nile Avenue, Nakasero Hill, UBC headquarters, but you are live on U24 Television. Afande, the National Tarehe Sita Day, some of us just get it as a chance to get off work. The appreciation of what you have been able to do over time. Let's just talk a little bit about that.
About Tarehe Sita generally?
Yes.
Tarehe Sita is the day of the 6th of February 1981, when patriots with 27 guns attacked Kabamba.
Yes.
And they attacked Kabamba because the victories of the Fronasa struggle, which ushered in, together with the support of Tanzanians, which ushered in the UNLF government, the Uganda National Liberation Front government,
yes,
in 79, the benefits, the gains of that victory were hijacked by self-seeking individuals.
Yep.
And all indicators were that the country was heading into another Amin type of leadership. Because people were being killed, MPs, members of parliament, were being hunted down and gunned down, and the other opponents of the regime then were also on the run. So, some patriotic individuals said, we can't again run away. Instead of running away, we should run into the fight. And they ran to Kabamba, captured the guns, and started the fight. And from that day, they were free from the oppression of the then Obote regime. And they started fighting until on the 25th of January 1986, when they defeated the dictatorships. So we celebrate the 6th of February as the birthday of the second phase of the liberation struggle.
Yes.
Because the Fronasa activities didn't have a birthday, because they started as a process engagement, and no specific date in 1972 can be ascribed as the date to which Fronasa was born. So, both Fronasa efforts in the struggle and NRA and UPDF efforts are represented in the 6th of February day and celebrated. And every year we take the celebration to one of the areas where there were distinctive, heroic activity by Fronasa or by NRA. This time round we were in Busoga. It is not that in other parts there were no celebration. No. In all parts of Uganda and outside Uganda where the UPDF is, there were celebration. But in Busoga, that's where the main effort was. And we participated in constructing public facilities for the people, like wards, like classrooms, like markets, etc. And other several activities.
Right.
So, Tarehe Sita is celebrated also to further cement and concretize and re-emphasize and reaffirm our bond, inseparable unity with our masses. And among our masses, the youth are top on agenda. And that's why we had in Mayuge, I mean in Wanyanga Girls Secondary School, we had a 7 days seminar for youth leaders and women leaders.
Amazing.
Women are the ones who give forth to the youth. Youth are the future parents of Uganda, future leaders.
Right. Apande, before I let you go, our time is really fast spent.
And before you do that, the youth must use social media, the internet, to know concretely their situation, to know the enemy. You can't fight, you can't struggle if you don't know the enemy. They must strive to read progressive writers like Walter Rodney, who wrote How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. Francis Fanon. Read Yoweri Museveni's works and see the people who inspired him, whom he read, whom he quotes, and make sure you know your situation concretely, because you will not do anything if you don't know correctly which situation you are in, the conditions and how they are acting on you. You can't change a situation which you haven't studied, analyzed, and that after which you can prescribe solutions.
Right. Before we let Afande go, this should be my last question because of our time. Afande, I have interacted with a few people in uniform, and you discover that their level of discipline, even among the youths, is really commendable. And what should other walks or disciplines of life copy, or how should they approach the aspect of discipline, self-control, values, the same way the army has been able to instill it in its young men and women? What should other works, because when you discover indisciplines, they usually do not come from the army. It's usually us, maybe you're in media, maybe you're in entertainment, maybe you're where. What should the gatekeepers in these other fields do that you have done in the army for these youths?
Ideological discipling. Disciplining is what discipleship is. If you lack ideological clarity, you can't be ideologically committed. If you don't engage into ideological struggle, you can't be ideologically clear. So there is need for the youth to be ideologically clear, because then they will understand why they need to be disciplined, because ours is conscious discipline. It is not the discipline which you get by Chiboko or by prison. It is the one where you are discipled and you accept and you are converted and you can even die, pay the ultimate sacrifice to defend your ideas, to defend your ideals.
For a cause, yes.
And lastly, a man, a woman can be anything, can have weaknesses, but so long as they are selfless, they will amount to the greatest they can be. So long as you are selfless. And even the Bible, the Quran, say, the more you give, the more you serve, the more you do for others, the more the God and heaven will bring to you.
Yes, right.
So selflessly work for the good of your friends, of your classmates, of your village mates. You see, Museum 7 was teaching villagers to live nomadic farming, pastoralism. He was not being paid at all, and people were thinking that was senseless. How does he stand to gain by going all over the place preaching? But eventually, God blessed him.
Yes, right.
When you give, you receive more. How it comes out, you may even not know, because those you give may even persecute you. Those you are working for may persecute you. But ultimately, heaven's ways are that eventually you will be better.
Amazing. Afande, maybe your last remarks, I don't know. I felt like we needed to have you more, but time.
The youth, our youth, dear youth, and me when I'm talking about youth, I'm meaning anybody who can still go down and do several press-ups and push-ups. The youth, know that you are the future and work hard, consciously, and work together. People don't know that President Yoweri Museveni on many occasions wanted to play second fiddle. He would be vice president, he would be second in command. Even taking over the role of commanding for NASA was evolutionary, it happened. But the youth today are fighting to be the boss. Anything they are doing, the boss. How do I stand to gain? Please be selfless. Don't be careerists. Be revolutionaries. Be people who are ready to sacrifice. And miraculously, you will find that things will work well for you. But above all, you must read what revolutionaries have written. Read President Yoweri Museveni, read Nyerere, read other revolutionaries, read Nkrumah, Africa Must Unite, read all progressive literature. If you don't read, you will not know where you are. And read so that you can act, so that you can interpret. You don't know answers. What Nkrumah said may not exactly translate what is here. But you can learn an aspect and
you can apply,
and creatively apply what you read to solve your local, your issues, your contradictions.
Thank you so much, Afande, for sparing time to talk to us. I'm telling you, it has been really an insightful episode of The Desk, and more of this will really come to you, but we are so glad that we've been listening from wisdom and wisdom of our fathers. Now, I know you have learned something. Now, make sure that you tell someone to always tune in, and this show is going to be live on YouTube. If you want to go over it over and over again, you can't learn these things by watching once. Go to YouTube, Shadrach Kisame everywhere, and you'll definitely be able to get all this knowledge, all this wisdom right there. But good night, good luck, adios for God and my country. May the good Lord bless this beautiful Uganda. Until next week, same place, same time, adios.
God bless us for God and our country.
Amen.